Hello, I'm Chris Williams from Read Comics, They're Bad For You. Or on BitChute, my channel name there is Comic Freak. Today we're going to be reviewing the boxing prize fight that took place at Disneyland on Saturday. Wait, that's actually wrong, isn't it? That wasn't actually a boxing prize fight. No, that wasn't any kind of professional fighting or boxing at all. It was a fight between a bunch of family members who had gotten into a brawl in the middle of Toontown in Disneyland, California. It's a sad state of things. People on the sidelines watching the fight when this man had his face spat on by his sister, well, he commenced to start punching her in the face several times, and he ended up getting into a fight with her boyfriend. And also, the grandmother tried to intervene, but it was apparently knocked down by the sister, or maybe the girlfriend of the man in the red shirt. I've heard other people tell others that he looks sort of like the 90s rapper Busta Rhymes. I have to agree, the hairstyle looks sort of similar to that guy, but he does sort of look a bit different as well. As I've heard, he's actually a former football player who was at the park trying to enjoy it with his family. Amazingly, other people who were also involved in the fight, who were trying to stop him, a man in a gray shirt and top was actually a football coach from El Paso, Texas. Well, it's amazing that so many football players were there on that day. Or, okay, not football players, but people who were involved in football trying to intervene and stop this fight. Now, no word on the little Asian man in the plaid shirt, if he also plays football or not. But I have to say, probably he doesn't. You can see the coach in the gray shirt back here. He has a black hat on. He stops the guy who looks like Busta Rhymes, along with another man in a blue shirt who choked him out. But as here we can see the fight between the two girlfriends that escalated with the man in the red shirt getting spit upon by his sister. And you see the grandmother had been thrown to the ground. The fight went even worse from there when the man realized that his sister had basically punched their grandmother and or at least caused her to fall down to the ground. He's him screaming, "Did you hit my grandma? Did you hit my grandma?" And he comes to start whacking her again. And the fight escalated there with the Texas football coach bringing him down. Now, the funny thing is, this all took place in Disneyland's Toontown, the kiddie part of the Disneyland park, on a day where there aren't that many people actually going to the park, because Disneyland had a low influx of visitors that day, and they've had it for the past few months. Now, as I said, the fight escalated with other patrons of the park bringing the man down and choking him unconscious. And when the man regained consciousness, he commenced to start screaming that he wanted to fight the man who had choked him out. The man who had actually choked him out had tried to melt back into the crowd and tried to get out of there, while park officials came in and tried to break up the fight. One woman, a park security guard, you can see her in some of the pictures and photos, had been trying to issue people not to intervene in the fight. Basically, she didn't want to get too close to it. And another park official who had basically also been standing back watching this. The official had arrived after the man had been choked out by the man in the blue shirt. The man in the blue shirt, as I said had melded back into the crowd, trying to continue with presumably his own family's visit to Disneyland. But he had been confronted by the park official, a blonde woman who was sort of overweight. She basically at first approached him after he had been standing around. He was either trying to back out meld into the crowd, but also wary and standing around ready if the guy was going to continue with his brawl and try to continue the fight and maybe even try to go after him. Here you can see the woman here. She took the man who had choked out the guy who looked like Busta Rhymes and taken him away from there so they could ask questions about him. Also probably to make sure the fight didn't continue. When I said that he had been melded back into the crowd, I had forgotten that she had actually taken him out of there, probably to try and protect him. A great day in Disneyland, huh? You know, in other parks, they promptly have security guards arrive and try to break up such fiascos moments or minutes after they begin. This went on for a good 10, 20 minutes before anyone like her actually showed up. And it's a sad story with Disney lately, with all the bad press they're getting. They can't even watch their own patrons when people visit their parks. They're making children get photographs and thumbprints at their Star Wars attraction. They're also unable to grant a grieving father's wish for his dead son's grave to have Spider-Man on it. And this, on top of it, the coup de grace that they've let now brawling and bad behavior continue to escalate in their parks. Mickey and Minnie look happy about this. I mean, for all Disney's bad behavior lately. I mean, look how happy they look. Yeah. I'm just using random photos I had to make fun of Disney right now because I'm really angry at Disney and all they've done lately. And I'm glad they're getting all this bad press. This behavior should not be allowed to happen. They should have had security guards no more than maybe minutes away from this, not taking so long, and that would cause people to almost lose their own children. A young boy who was part of the family was basically left to start wandering around the fight and crying, and no one had come in to take him out of it. No random passerby, and none of his own family members had even been heeding his calls. Here we can see the man who looks like Busta Rhymes, or with his red shirt on, as he slaps down his sister. Presumably it's part of her fault, but he went way too far in responding to her. She spit on him, and she basically probably insulted him and maybe called him various bad names, which in regards to him, yes, he was provoked, but he should not have responded with such violence to members of his own family. It is a sad thing, and I hope he is prosecuted to the letter of the law, because most of the people there had been filming this as it had occurred, so they have multiple angles of him punching out people and fighting other patrons at the park. It also shows bad behavior from Disney itself that it took so long for anyone to respond to this. We can see the fight here with him and the boyfriend of his sister as they begin to fight each other. Now, we can see here one of his girlfriend, or maybe his own sister, another one of his sisters, trying not to get included in the fight as they start wailing on each other. Now, it looks like the boyfriend here is almost hitting that woman, but I'm pretty sure she was just trying to break up the fight, because I'm sure the man in the white shirt and Busta Rhymes here, not actually Busta Rhymes, the man with the haircut of Busta Rhymes, were the ones actually fighting. Because they started brawling as soon as he started slapping down his sister, and presumably that's actually this man's girlfriend. And it was a bad thing. This fight persisted for several minutes with no one even stopping it, with several people watching and recording it. And other people have commented that these people, all they did was stand around. And that was a bad thing. In my own opinion, this isn't their fight. They're just there to enjoy the day. Disney should have done something about this. And I put this photo at the end of this video to make my point clear. Have a magical day at Disney. Get beaten up or slapped down and maybe even have your eyes pepper sprayed. Yes, have a magical day. Now, I have no idea what this fight is about here, but it shows that Disney has had to deal with this stuff before, and presumably these guards here were actually managing to stop this fight. But as you can see, they ended up pepper spraying this guy here, and he might have not even been responsible for anything. All in all, Disney is not having a great month or a great year. They're losing money, and people are calling them out on it for their various insults and attacking fans, their refusal to help a grieving father, and this latest debacle where they can't even control the patrons at their own parks. Now, if you like this video, subscribe. Make sure you're still subscribed. If you're watching my videos but you have not subscribed, please subscribe to me here on YouTube at Read Comics They're Bad For You by hitting that bell and get notifications for all my future videos. And subscribe to me at Comic Freak at BitChute. And remember, hit that like button and leave some comments down below. And keep checking back in future videos for more information on my own upcoming independent comic book, Scumdogs. It will be one tremendously good read, so keep checking back for more information on it. It will most certainly be better than what Disney is doing now and what it keeps on doing as well. I'm Chris Williams. I'll be back again tomorrow with another video or review.